Well, hello, this is Pastor Brian Anderson, and we have another daily devotion. We're in the book of Mark. This is going to be a little bit different than most because we're not going to look at one single passage to bring our devotion out from. We're going to look at three passages in the book of Mark. And I'm going to call this little devotion Jesus' Ministry Training Plan, because I think that's really what it is. So in Mark chapter 3, verse 14 and 15, it says, "And he," that is Jesus, "appointed 12, so that they would be with him, and that he could send them out to preach and to have authority to cast out demons." Our next passage, Mark chapter 6, verses 7 to 13. And in that passage, I'll just summarize it for you. Jesus appoints the 12 and sends them out on a short-term mission to do what they had already seen Jesus doing: healing the sick, casting out demons, and preaching. So step one, he appoints 12 to be with him. And as they're with him, they just observe. They watch what Jesus does. Well, what does he do? He preaches, he heals the sick, he casts out demons. Later on, after they've been with him for a while, Jesus sends them out on a short-term mission. They're not to take anything with them. They have to trust God for all their provisions, but they're to do the same three things that they've been watching Jesus do. Preach. So they preached repentance. They are to cast out demons and heal the sick. And that's exactly what they do. Later on, after they're done with this short-term mission, in Mark 6:30, it says, "The apostles gathered together with Jesus, and they reported to him all that they had done and taught." So there was a time when the apostles gave Jesus feedback on how things went when they went out on this short-term mission. And no doubt Jesus would use that as an opportunity to instruct them further, how they could improve their ministry in the future when they're sent out again. And then finally, in the book of Mark, chapter 16, we see one final step. We've seen step 1, step 2. This is step 3. In Mark 16, verses 15 to 18, Jesus sends out his apostles on a lifetime mission, lifetime of ministry. He says, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation. He who has believed and has been baptized shall be saved. He who has disbelieved shall be damned, and these signs shall follow those who believe. In my name, they will cast out demons. In my name, they will speak with new tongues. In my name, they will heal the sick as they lay hands on the sick." And so he talks there about preaching the gospel, healing the sick, and casting out demons. But this time, it's not on a short-term mission basis. It's on a full-time, lifelong basis. So step 1, the disciple just spends time with Jesus, watches Jesus. Step 2, Jesus gives him a short assignment. After they've observed Jesus, Jesus sends them out with his authority to do all the things that he had just been doing: healing the sick, casting out demons, preaching the gospel. Step 3, finally, he releases them. Jesus ascends back to heaven, but before he does, he releases them into a lifetime of ministry, doing the same things that they'd watched Jesus do: preach, cast out demons, heal the sick. So here's the point of this little devotion today. Is there anyone in your life right now that you're discipling? Or perhaps you're involved in ministry and you're trying to raise other people up to also be involved in ministry. I don't think there could be a better ministry plan than the one we find right here in the scriptures. So let's learn to do ministry like Jesus did. And let's learn to disciple others the way Jesus did. Step 1, we do ministry while they watch us. Step 2, they do ministry while we watch them and provide feedback. Step 3, they do ministry without us. Hope that's an encouragement. Hope you can practically use that in your life. And until our next video, God bless you. See you then.